Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for coming along and viewing the new video. We haven't viewed it yet, but when you do, you're going to love it. Go back to Christmas. I had lots of nice presents, that was great. But Mandy mentioned that she was going to get me a drone, but she didn't. So I was like, oh, okay, all right then. But that got me thinking. And I started researching drones over and over again. I was looking at various different ones. One that stuck out was the Bugs 16 Pro, I believe. Yeah, it looked really, really good. I watched some reviews of it, and I wasn't too impressed with the video. It was supposed to be 4K, and I didn't really like the look of it. So I decided to save up a little bit more, do a bit of research, and I ended up with the DJI Mini SE, which is a tiny, tiny little drone, which I'll show you in a minute. I bought it for the band, really. So when we're doing our videos, that's the severed tendons, by the way. I'll put a link down the bottom. When we're doing videos, we record at home. So the videos we're doing at home as well, you know, you've probably seen them. But if we can have some other angles, it'd be really, really good. So I thought, drone, that's going to work really well. And I sold that to Mandy very, very well. It's a band tool. So, yeah. Got the drone. So anyway, let's have a quick look what comes in it. Then we'll have a look at some footage, okay? All right, so you get propellers, 4 of them. No, you don't. You get 8 of them. Sorry. You get screws. You also get 2 extra arms for the controller. And you get a screwdriver to change the propellers, okay? You get various different USB cables depending on what phone you've got. There are a few phones that won't work with this drone, so go to the DJI website and check that your phone is compatible. Okay, there's a list there. Okay, it also comes with a controller, which is got aerials on it, and it's got wobbly steering bits and pieces for going up and down, and it's got arms at the bottom there. This is where your phone sits in, and it connects via a cable, which is by there, okay? And that plugs into your phone, so when you're flying, you can watch what you're actually filming. And it comes with various cables as well for individual phones, so whatever phone you've got, it'll fit. So that's really, really nice. On the controller at the front, you have a photo button there, a video button there. This here is for controlling the camera, or the gimbal, so it sets it up and down. You also have a fly home button, so if you're out or you're running out of battery, you press that and it will make its own way home. I haven't actually used that. I've generally flown it by myself without any aid from this, so I haven't used that. On there is power button. That's about it really for that. Here is the little tiny drone. It really is tiny. Look how small that is. It's ridiculous. Looks like a little robot, doesn't he? We have a cover here which covers the camera. That is the gimbal that's on the camera. So no matter how much the drone moves, the camera stays steady. So let's unpack it. It's like this. So, okay, it's a little bit bigger when you unpack it, but even so, it's still quite small. What can I use in reference? Oh, nothing really. There's the controller. So yeah, it's quite small. You can see how big it is. Really nice looking. These are actually vents at the front. Air flows through them, and there's vents at the side as well. The air flows out there. Okay. You also have air vents on the bottom. Now that is your power button. Press once, press twice. That powers it on. Same for turning it off. Same on the controller as well. These are sensors, so when you've got the ground there, it won't go below that. It will stay a certain level unless you tell it to. If you pull down on the controller, and it will land then. Okay, but apart from that, it will stay up there unless you actually physically tell it to go down lower than its sensor says. On the back, you have a USB socket. This is the new USB. It was something strange. On the back, we have the new USB-C. Okay, but on the controller, we have the old USB. I don't know why they didn't put USB-C on the controller as well. Next to that, you have a slot for your SD card. Okay, get a fast SD card. The one I'm using is a SanDisk Extreme Pro, 64 gig. So yeah, get a nice fast one. So when it records it, it records in a decent bit rate. All right, so there we go. That's the drone. That's about it. That's what you get. Yeah, so I love it. My first flight out was in the house here, and I nearly killed us all. Not a good idea. Those blades, I didn't actually get hit by the blades, but those blades can cause some damage. So be very, very careful what you're doing. My third flight, which was my second real flight, was in a quarry. And I'm going to show you some footage of that now. The first flight, obviously it was indoors, so I didn't really do anything. Second flight, I went out and I was a bit sheepish about letting it go too far. I was just more or less getting used to the controls. The second real flight, I got a bit more adventurous and a bit more confident that I wasn't going to lose it. I'm still a bit scared of losing it because, you need to keep it in sight and stuff like that. So I'll show you some footage in a moment and we'll go from there. One thing you will need before you go flying, as long as you want to stay legal and all that sort of stuff, is a flyer ID. This is the website here. Now you can get the flyer ID and it consists of a little test. And once you've done that test, that lasts for 5 years. You also need an operator's ID. You just apply for that, and what they do, they send you a number, and that number needs to go on every single drone that you own. All right, so you're going to need to do it once. If you've got 5 drones, the same number goes on all the drones, okay? But I recommend doing that. In the flyer ID test, there's lots of really good information. You're allowed to look at the booklet, which is online while you're doing the exam, so you can't fail it. And there's good information in there, so I recommend going for that if you can. £9 a year. So I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I'll speak to you very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.